Hi, I'm Robert with Oakwood. Today we're going to be looking at this Exmark Radius E-Series. We're going to be checking out the spring tensioner, checking out the belt, checking out the towers, changing some blades, throwing a little grease here and there. But before we begin, I just want to talk to you for a minute. And it made me think how I came up and cultivated a list of questions to actually ask my new clients, okay? So in the beginning for me in mowing, I would take on any property, anything overgrown, within a certain mile radius. I wouldn't go out 25 miles, anything out of there. It just didn't make sense financially, right? It was already bad enough I was spending 3-4 hours on a property that I undercharged to begin with. But you learn. You learn real quick. You should learn. So it helped me cultivate a list of questions, and one being, you know, when you have somebody new calling, you want to know, is there any area on your property that retains water after a storm? Or is there any new wellheads or any cleanouts? Or where's your sprinkler system? Do you have that? I like to ask all those questions because if they're watering their property, that means you're going to cut year round, especially in August. You know, things start to dry out. It has been hot here, been 103, 104 last week or two or more. Today's beautiful, feels like 70 degrees, zero humidity. This is nice weather. So I thought to come out here and shoot this video. I did have a couple people ask me, hey man, how do you get that spring on and off that mower? That's crazy. Well, here you go, enjoy. All right, here's what we're going to do. Fourth one in. I need that one. Need some tools first, some battery power. Cut-off wheel grinder, impact. All right, oh, and a long screwdriver. Let me show you what we're gonna do today. So in today's video, I am going to attempt to show you how to replace that spring right there. Now, I have changed mine in the past. Here is the old one. It does lose its tension, its strength. Spring has sprung. I'm going to give you all the parts and pieces and the information, but we're also going to look at the blades that I'm going to put on, mulching blades. We're going to use the jack that it came with the mower. We're going to take a look at an old belt. All right, first things first, let's remove this foot plate down here. Now, maybe you have realized it or maybe you haven't, but this tab is longer than this one, and I'll show you here in a minute. So you lift it up and you slide it out to the left. See, that tab is longer to the right than that one. Just a little tip there. Now we're down to the deck. Look at the size of that thing, man. It's huge. So we're gonna lower the deck down. We're gonna pull the pin out all the way, and then we're gonna lower it down up here. So trying to do it with the camera in hand. See if I could do it here. You can do it. The deck is all the way down. Let's put this back on right here. Notice how that bolt didn't fall through, because I went ahead and put a nylon locking nut on there, and every time I take this off, it doesn't just drop down. Little tip there. If I can get it on one-handed, I don't want to lose the nut. All right, this here is an additional pulley to run the Ultra Vac. I do have, and this is solid. This is all one piece, one pulley right here, top and bottom. There's the spring back there that we're going for. Put some light on the subject. It's stretched out. It's pretty wild on how tight it is. Now we're gonna come over here and remove this shroud just so we can have a better visual. It is dirty under here. Now there is on my deck a picture right back here of the belt diagram, but one of the things that I highly recommend is you pull out your cell phone, even when it's brand new, take pictures of things. That way when something breaks, you kind of have an idea where it goes back and how, you know. It's so easy to just overlook some of the simple things. It can save you a ton of money just by pre-planning up front. So right now I'm going to reposition the camera so you can see me disengage the tensioner spring. All I did was removed it off of this pulley right here. And also I want to check out all my spindles, my pulleys, and grease anything that needs to be greased. But now there shouldn't be any tension on that spring whatsoever. It is stretched out a little bit, and we're gonna pop it off. Here's the spring that we're after. Once you've taken a photo of your belt and you release the tension from your belt, now you can use a long screwdriver to go back in here and you can pry. Or if you have overgrown meat hooks, you can grab that spring, pull it, and twist it. Like that. And then now the whole thing's off. And then to put it back on, you just do a reverse process. But I'm telling you right now, if your mower is not cutting like it used to when you bought it brand new, the belt could have stretched, this could have stretched, they wear out. You know, I'm gonna include, that's got a Zerk fitting right there. I'm gonna hit that with some grease to keep it smooth. But yeah, let's put this bad boy on. So down here, you hook it on the one arm. You reach down here, hook it, bop it. Now we're gonna need a screwdriver. So when you put your screwdriver in, it may come off the back, so like it just did there from bumping the mower. So I'll hold it. Like so. Put your screwdriver in here without hitting the camera. And then I'll put it like that. And then I'll start pushing on the screwdriver, pulling it, sliding it down carefully. See? And I just pushed everything back to the corner. Then you pull your screwdriver out. And there she is. She's hooked up on both sides. And that's how you do that. So before I put tension back on the deck, I am going to spin all these pulleys. This is just an idler pulley. The big black ones are your actual mowing blades. So the reason why I'm doing this check is I'm listening to see if there's any grinding, any wear and tear. No play. That thing will keep spinning and spinning. So right here, this is the PTO clutch, if you can see it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that this is in place like that. It's around the pulley, it's in the groove. Now let's go to the front and reinstall everything. So let's just take a quick look here, make sure all the belts, they are where they need to be. They're in the right route. You're gonna refer back to your photo, and we're going to set you up, and I'm going to hook this back up here, put it around the pulley, and we should be done with this. From the front of the mower, I'm gonna reach in with my left hand and put it on this tensioner pulley. Then with my right hand, I'm gonna guide this belt back on, like so, and slowly, because I've pinched my hand in there, and then everything should turn freely. It's just spinning, it's just sliding on the PTO clutch because it's not engaged. But everything should turn really nice and easy. All right, let's do the blades. Before we continue on with the blades, I just want to put some covers back on, kind of clean up some tools. That way you don't leave anything behind that could get trapped underneath and damage your blades, or not blades, but your belt. Those belts are pretty expensive. So what I'm going to do is on this side here is remove this wing nut. Put my custom cover on. Call it custom because I bonus notch just that over there. So they're back in the hooks here. Put your wing nut on here. That way no tools, no screwdrivers get left behind. That works properly. Come on the other side. That's it on that one. Center foot. Now here's a good example right here. You can notice this has a hook on it. This one doesn't. So this one goes in first and comes out last. I'll show you. Goes in first and down, and then comes out last. So you lift up, slide it to your left and out. It goes in first, down, and close. So now let's go ahead and jack it up. Works pretty good. I liked it because I didn't have to move the mower in the trailer. I can just jack it up, change the blades right in the trailer. And that's it. I do run it up. I'm holding the washer against the blade. Got a camera in my face. Get it close. So what I do is I hold that washer where it needs to be. So the washer is lined up with the profile, and then I give her the gun. That's not coming off. One down, two to go. I'm gonna clean the deck later because it's just my yard here. From what I can see without my glasses, line it up with the tower, get it started by hand, and I push up the outside washer. I line it up to the spindle so it doesn't turn no more, and then I run the bolt up.